Welcome, everyone, to another slamtastically erotic episode of It Crept from the 80s. Here we are again. I can't believe it. Oh, it's as if I did one last week, and oh my gosh, I think what's this? Do I have another guest for you fans? Oh my God! Look, it's none other than Bobby Heckman. Bobby, hello.
Michael
It's
J.
me.
Fox?
It's
Oh,
Odin.
oh my God. How are you? What's going on?
Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me on another episode of It Crept from the 80s, Bobby.
Oh my God. I cannot stop wanting to be on this show.
I know. Another pandemically erotic episode. We're here during the pandemic of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Hopefully it's this time and that's it.
Man, it's crazy, you know?
It is.
I'm surprised I haven't grown a beard all long and wispy.
And you look like Stephen King in Creepshow. Just
Yeah.
It's all green and mossy.
I'm getting shaggy.
Yeah, I had to cut my hair. We're all getting shaggy at work, but I had to find somebody to cut my hair.
Well, folks.
So what are we doing? We're talking more V. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, it's our part 2 video of V.
Oh, look down below for the first time.
That's right. You will recognize Bobby on several episodes of this channel. And I wanted to get together with Bobby today to talk about our favorite horror movies of 1985 that just so happen to be celebrating 35th anniversaries. My God.
It just seems like yesterday that it was 1986. But before that,
yeah,
it was 85.
It's as if there were a number between 84 and 86.
Yes. As far as horror movies, I think I don't know. I think 84 and 86, I might have more favorites than those years.
I mean, when actually...
Call me back when it's next year, all right?
when I was going through my favorites of 85, I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
You know?
There's like 10.
There's other movies out there, but I'm talking about favorites. We want to talk about what I like, what Bobby likes.
Absolutely.
Horror, we could talk about action and comedy, of course.
Rambo and Commando.
Because there's a lot in there as well. But no, we're talking about horror, to the genre that is close and so tight and gooey and stuck to our hearts. The reason we met, because of the horror genre, and
yes.
So, speaking of that, it's 20 years, Bobby.
Oh, has it been?
It's 20.
Well, we technically met in 99.
Yes, but yes, that's true.
Yes.
But we struck up a friendship in 2000.
Right. When did you shoot Mulva? I'm trying to remember. Was it fall
that was
of 99 or
no? That was
2000 beginning.
Mulva was in 2000.
Okay. All right. Well, we met in that Hell House.
Yes.
And then that's when we struck up conversations about Friday 13th and everything.
That was before That was before I moved there.
Okay.
Yes.
And that was 2000. I moved out by summer of 2000, I think.
Yeah, we were. Yes.
Yeah.
That was when me and
Casey
Casey came to visit for that first time.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway,
okay.
It's been 20 years.
Happy anniversary to us.
I know.
Happy anniversary to us. Happy 35th to Swell Movies.
Right. So many movies. Okay, so, I mean, man, the thing is, though, there may not have been a lot of, a plethora of horror for 85, but man, there are some heavy hitters.
Oh yeah.
Some heavy hitters, and I would imagine we're going to be talking about a lot of the same movies.
Listen, we basically, I mean, we didn't have the exact same upbringing, but
well, I mean, I was at your house all the time growing up. You just didn't know it.
In your wildest, wettest dreams, yes.
Yeah.
But like, I would say I was 9 years old in 1985, and I would say that was the point I started to. I think I just started to like start renting a lot of horror movies like on my own.
Sure.
Well, with a friend. My friend Tommy that I grew up with, still one of my best friends today. We would start grabbing things off the shelf and starting to really explore.
Yeah.
Like more horror. Like we had seen like Halloween and Night of the Living Dead and Friday the 13th movies on TV and everything. But I think it really was 1985.
I would have to agree because the very first VHS that our family bought was Back to the Future, and at that
Goonies
point,
for me.
At that point, they were definitely like, go and pick out movies, Chris. You know what I mean? So like,
right.
And you and I are pretty much the same age.
Yeah.
I'm like a scotch behind you.
Yeah.
You know.
But 85.
I was 8.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really started to, explore all those. I mean, but I guess it took a while for like certain movies to come out on video, so it was probably all those 1985 movies that came out. If you didn't see them in the theater, and I know you definitely got to see these movies in the theater before I did. My first year, like 87, is when I started getting to be able to see horror movies in the theater.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you.
Like, I thought you saw like Nightmare on Elm Street movies in the theater.
No. My mom took me to see Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
84. Okay.
Yes. That was really the only straight up horror movie I had seen in a theater.
Okay.
Until like late 87, 88. I was going to movies.
Right.
I was definitely going to movies, comedies and fantasies and those sci-fi things and things like that, but horror that I can like full on remember, it was around the same time. Other than that, it was probably because like my grandparents or my aunt at the time was probably railing into my mom and my uncle saying, stop showing them this stuff, stop taking them this stuff.
You're damaging the boy.
I mean, they never did. They kept taking me to things. I mean, they definitely, like, I remember, instead of the movie theater, they would rent stuff and show me. Like, I remember when Aliens came out on VHS and they like flipped out, so they were showing me, Aliens stuff like that. But I would agree that 87, 88 is really when I started going to horror movies myself with my friends.
Right.
So, but I'm going to let you, since you were the guest of honor, I'm going to let you start with one of your favorite 85 horror movies. And if you happen to have a recollection of when you first saw it, whatever, you can lay some memories on us, whatever.
Man, you know what? I'm going to bring up the classic Return of the Living Dead.
Okay.
I had, before I saw Return of the, okay, there you go.
That is also in my list.
Let's get all the covers.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. So, growing up, like probably around, I guess around 1984, my mom had one of the first videotapes we ever had was Night of the Living Dead, because it was one of those $3, $5 movie videotapes, probably the cheapest videotape you can get.
Yeah.
Because still at that time, videotapes before like '85, they weren't 1995 all the time. They were like $30 or whatever,
Well,
or 25 bucks.
I mean that Back to the Future, I think I
Was
can't
it
believe
25?
I can't believe what my grandfather spent on Back to the Future.
Was it more than 30?
Oh, it was a lot. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, it was really end of '85, '86 where I think the prices just dropped down to like under $20. But Night of the Living Dead, so I saw that. I had seen Dawn of the Dead. And I had seen Day of the Dead. So this must have been whenever Day of the Dead came out on video, probably the end of '85 or beginning of '86.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, George Romero, I'm all about this guy. I was telling my friend Tommy about it because he was my horror friend and we would exchange. He was like, did you ever see Return of the Living Dead? And he had HBO. I didn't have HBO, but apparently it ran on there all the time.
Yeah.
He recorded it off of HBO. And my cat keeps me out. So I went to his house and saw Return of the Living Dead, and I was just like, this is completely different than any other zombie movie I've ever seen. The zombies are running, but zombies run all the time now, but then it was funny that they ran and they talked.
Yeah.
And the fact that you could watch the movie kind of as like a dark comedy or a horror movie, like there's like this perfect balance that's like creepy and like weird and funny, and it's a blast, and I love it. It's just, yeah, it's one of my top favorite movies of '85, definitely. But it's one of my favorite zombie movies. You know what? It's really neck and neck with Day of the Dead. I love Day of the Dead.
Me too.
But like, they're so different and so perfect in so many different ways. It's like they're even to me. I don't know.
I mean, this movie cracked me up.
Oh yeah.
And for me, it definitely was a VHS rental, because I would have, as we do, even as a kid, I would always have sleepovers, and we would do themed nights.
Here you go ahead.
Yeah. So I rented it during a zombie night,
Right.
And
you have to.
This, of course, was right up my alley.
Of course.
The comedy, I was just like, this is different.
You think this is a fucking costume? It's a way of life.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can be a horror fan and not love this movie. It is a classic. It is a classic.
I don't know. I tend not to trust horror fans if they don't if they've never seen or enjoyed this movie.
Well, you'd be surprised,
of who, if they haven't seen it.
Both.
Or, I understand younger generations not knowing.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah.
But if you're like 40 and older, you must have seen this. Hold on, my cat's being annoying.
Great movie.
I'll be right back.
No, put that axe down.
Stop being annoying.
Bobby. Oh, don't hurt him. No, don't break its neck.
Kept playing with the split dogs that I have sprinkled around the apartment. Just biting.
Oh, Bobby. Sleepwalkers.
Sleepwalkers. But yeah, it's amazing, and I don't know. Any horror fan that loves zombies needs to take a look at it. Even if they wind up not liking it, just you need to see Return of the Living Dead.
Right.
Right.
So we'll go to Well, we just did that.
And if you really enjoy it, watch Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Okay.
Part 2, Part 3. There's a fantastic documentary.
Oh, yeah. More Brains.
More Brains. And then I've also got that compendium, the Return of the Living Dead book. Love it all. Love it all.
So let's go into Day of the Dead.
Oh, do you want
Might as well.
Okay. Yeah, Day of the Dead. I got that too.
Yes. Well, tell me about when you first saw Day of the Dead.
I have had Fangoria as well.
Of course you do.
Okay, so
Not Day of the Dead.
I did see these the way you're supposed to see them.
In the theater?
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about Night of the Living Dead first.
Right.
Because Night of the Living Dead would play all the time, you know, Saturday Macabre Theater or whatever. WPIX would play that movie all the time. Elvira had it on, you know, like I just saw it. I saw it on TV. I saw Night of the Living Dead on TV. But it was probably 86, something like that, where I rented Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead all together with Return of the Living Dead, because these were zombie nights with the pals. What's funny is I was considered the bad kid in Wellsville because I was into horror.
You are.
So I was like,
you're the bad kid.
So I was basically corrupting all of my friends according to their parents.
Pretty much the same with me.
And the friends that I had never got into horror as much as I did. But they would be like, you know, sheltering their faces and shit like that. And I was like laughing, you know, or saying, "Oh, cool," or, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Tommy's the only one of my friends that was super into horror. The rest of my friends kind of enjoyed certain movies here and there that I would, you know, make them watch, make them sit through.
If anything,
Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead were two of the ones that I'm like, you got to watch this.
It was
or we can't be friends anymore. No, okay.
Cousins more than anybody else who kind of did the horror thing with me.
Right.
They enjoyed it more than my friends did. I didn't get horror liking friends until, you know, the teen years and whatnot.
Right.
So a lot of these marathons were with my cousins. But so, you know, we watched Dawn of the Dead, and I like it. You know, again, I'm a 9-year-old at this point. Dawn made me laugh, but I was also extremely bored by it.
Yeah, there's like that half hour where there's no zombie action.
The very first time I watched that movie, I just was like, you know, like I probably was ADD and all over the place, and just not like until those funny blue people were shooting blood out of their faces or whatever. I just didn't care. But when we got to...
You needed the visuals, the visual stimulation.
When we got to Day of the Dead, that's when I remember, I think for the first time being like really like creeped out and having a disturbing feeling watching something. Because to me, Day of the Dead felt real. It felt lived in and dank and grimy and dirty and like we shouldn't be watching this.
And claustrophobic.
And the Savini stuff was just intense and crazy.
It's the best.
And I think because of that reaction, as I got older, Day just stood out more than the others, and it just became my favorite Romero zombie film. And it is to this day. Like Day of the Dead just does it for me. I've appreciated it, you know, as you get older, you appreciate it for so many other things. Same with Dawn of the Dead. I appreciated Dawn way more than I did when I was a 9-year-old kid, you know.
Right.
But yeah, for me to this day, Day takes the cake. Day is the granddaddy of zombie films to me.
Well, and especially of Savini's, it's his masterpiece.
Oh, it 100%
You know,
is. It's not my favorite Romero movie, but it is my favorite Romero zombie film, hands down.
Yeah. I think we have the same favorite Romero movie, Creep Show.
So Creep Show.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely.
So Day of the Dead became one of those like, I'm gonna show you something that's gonna freak you out, you know?
Yeah.
And it definitely did.
No.
I remember having friends who would like run out of the room, you know, because they were just so like, ah! You know,
joke on them.
You boss fuck. I probably had to end up like shutting it off and playing something else, but it was one of those movies where you're not gonna believe this.
Yeah, I grew up in my grandparents' house.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's right. See, we did live the same life. So Dawn of the Dead was kind of like the one that like I could play out in the living room with the family, because there's nothing like Day of the Dead. Just, you know, there's
wholesome.
It's filled with no. It's just that it's filled with a cast that, you know, is just very vulgar and just, you know, like constantly fuck, you know, like, so I was kind of like, my grandfather probably wouldn't appreciate this. So I kind of like always watch Day of the Dead with my friends in my bedroom, where
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead was more of like a family film in a way, you know?
Yeah.
Which it's not, but, you know, compared to Day of the Dead, it is.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
But, yeah, but I don't know. I just love that, that trilogy of Dead films. We just watched them all, my wife and I.
So. Day's on my list. It's on my list for watching because of the 35th anniversary. It was before this pandemic. I had a Saturday night sleepover planned, and that was in the mix of that. So.
Was it Day of the Dead and Return of the Living Dead? Or
no, it was.
I always play those back to back.
It was various genres.
Okay.
So I had Explorers, Day of the Dead.
Is this the order?
Just One of the Guys.
Teen Wolf.
I didn't have Teen Wolf in there. Wow. There was something. There was another. There was 2 others because we were gonna do 5 movies, and then
Spies Like Us.
And then it happened.
Police Academy 2. Yeah.
I just actually showed Katie Police Academy 2 because I was like, have you ever like watched any of these Police Academy movies? And she's like,
oh my God.
She's like, well, I mean, I guess I've seen bits and pieces here and there, but like she's like, I've never seen one fully. And I go, you know what? We're going to watch Police Academy 2 right now. She looked at me and shook her head a lot.
What?
And I'm sitting there like,
you probably should have, in that case, put on part 1 because it has the heart in it, you know? Like,
I don't think she would have liked part 1 either. She likes Steve Guttenberg, so I figured, hey man, you're gonna love
just like
this.
how they all become friends and they slowly, you know, trust each other and become. She might. I mean, I feel like that's if you want the woman's attention, go part 1 and then have the wacky adventure after that.
I don't think she's gonna sit down and watch 3 or 4 with me.
What about Harry and the Hendersons?
I'm still trying. Still trying. One of these days, I'm just gonna hit play.
You will.
You know, while she like comes into the room, and she'll be like, "What are you watching?" And she'll be like, just something that's on." Just have it play out.
Oh my God.
Till the Hendersons hit Harry. And she'll be like, "What?"
Yeah, then she'll start crying towards the
Maybe
end.
that first part will actually like
everything.
get her, you know, get her sucked into what is this? And
Yeah.
then, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. It's such
But
a
anyway,
lovable film. I don't know.
Day of the Dead, amazing, classic.
Yes, Day of the Dead. Like, if we were actually rating these movies, Day of the Dead and Return of the Living Dead are my top 2 favorite horror movies of 1985. And my second one,
No one could fault you.
or a third one, would be your number one.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. So,
We'll get there. We'll save that. Save that to the last.
what do you want to talk about next? What's another favorite for you, Bobby?
Have you ever seen? Hold on, internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, you're
All right.
you're kind of goofy.
Seems good now. I don't know.
All right.
Am I?
A little bit.
We're good.
Yeah, it's all right. This is gonna be what it is, and people can watch it and
And turn it off.
yeah. I don't know.
This is one movie that I don't even know if you've heard of it or you seen it or anything, but when I was like 10 years old, I saw this movie, and for some reason, I don't know if I saw it at a friend's house, but then I started renting it. You know, when I couldn't find anything else, I would rent this movie for some reason, and I just really dug this movie. Is Warning Sign?
Yeah, I've never
Have you
seen
ever
it.
seen Warning Sign?
Never seen it.
All right. I mean, it's kind of like a horror sci-fi movie. It's actually there's a pandemic. But well, it's funny that we were just talking about Police Academy. G.W. Bailey did this movie instead of Police Academy 2. That's why.
Well, then we wouldn't have.
Then we didn't have Mauser.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wowza. But I really dig this movie. It's basically about like a virus gets loose in this like lab in the middle of nowhere, and they start closing the steel doors and everything, and people get trapped inside, and they basically become like zombies in a way. Not really. Actually, they just become kind of crazy and like maniacs, and they start like attacking each other. But it's kind of like, it's really good. I don't know. I really dig the movie, and I just, once my video store started closing down, because I can never find that videotape to buy anywhere, so I was like, oh, $3. I got that video, and then it finally came out on DVD and now Blu-ray. But like, I just really dig this movie.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It plays like more like it's kind of like an everything movie where it's like action, drama, sci-fi, horror.
Okay.
But it's cool. I like it. So I don't know. This movie always sticks with me, and it's one of my favorites. 1985.
All right. So my next one of my favorites from 1985 is a weird, wet, and sensually wild science fiction horror movie.
Private Resort? Okay.
Life Force. Toby Hooper's Life Force.
Yes.
This movie.
Space vampires.
Now, Katie really likes this movie.
That's wild to know.
I know. This movie is so bizarre and crazy and weird, but she's like, I really dig it. You know?
Why?
She also really loves
Why?
From Beyond.
That's so bizarre to me. Is it that they're naked woman walking around sucking the life out of people?
You know what? Now that I think about it, they're both sensually psychosexual horror films.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's just what she's into. I don't know.
Although she finds the Hellraiser movies terribly disturbing. But anyway,
well, they kind of are.
So Toby
Not as bad as
Hooper's,
that.
I feel, underrated sci-fi horror film. This movie is so much fun to me. I think it's so creative. great
Yes.
special effects.
Absolutely.
It's just a wild, weird, atmospheric, throw everything, like, it's wild, man.
And it's got such a happy ending.
And I haven't seen, I didn't see this for the longest time. Like,
okay.
So I didn't even own this on like a DVD or a special edition. This was always a rental for me. And we didn't get this until Scream Factory put it out. And I was like, I really loved this movie. And Katie had seen it before I even started talking about it. She had seen, this is something that she saw when she was like a teenager,
Okay.
And so when I was bringing up, hey, I'm going to get this because I haven't seen this in forever. And she's like, oh my God, I love that movie. Like, she's like, yes, let's get it.
You're like, what?
I know, right? And then we watch it again, and this has the director's cut. So I watched the director's cut. So it was like watching a whole new movie to me, But I was just like, God.
How different is it? I don't think I watched the director's cut.
It's longer. There's more. But again, I haven't seen the original in so long, I wouldn't be able to tell you what exactly was different, because I totally remember the things that I remember in it. But I wouldn't know, what I mean? But I do know it was longer. It definitely is longer. But I fell in love with it again. I was like, man, I'm so happy it held up for me, It like exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get that.
It's fantastic.
I got to get that because I picked up the, it's not the steel book, but I borrowed it from somebody because I wanted to borrow from somebody, make sure I liked it before I got it myself.
Yeah.
And I definitely like it, and I'm going to get it eventually.
So you're up.
Cat's Eye.
See, it's not one of my favorites, but I do have it. I do own it. But it wouldn't be like a favorite of mine.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
I only love one story in it.
The troll story.
Yes. The troll. It has never.
I like the other two stories.
It's never left my mind. That story never left my mind.
And the making of that particular part of the story is great. Like the
vision
the troll
of the troll getting killed will never ever leave my mind. I was just so
into the fan
because I was a kid when I saw it. You know what I mean? And I was like, holy! It's like, whoa!
Yeah. It's the same with me. I saw her when I was a kid. I probably, when I was a kid, I don't think I'd ever seen the first story, and I wouldn't have liked it as a kid anyway. But like, I think I came in the middle of the second story where Robert Hayes is walking the ledge around the building, and that was so intriguing to me. I'm like, what is this about, and why is he doing this? Why does he have to do this? Yeah. Like that, I stuck with it, and then I loved how it ended, and with the bad guy going off the building and everything. And then it went into that story, the troll story, and I was like, ooh, I like this. I need to see this whole movie. And then I eventually saw it, and I really dug it. And as an adult now, I like all three stories.
As an adult,
and I love the opening with the whole, those nods to Stephen King stuff.
I do like the movie. Because those other two stories are weaker for me, it just didn't make like a favorite list, But gotcha. I do have that Blu-ray. I was able to pick that Blu-ray up for like $5 when those sets came out, those Stephen King sets.
And they look good.
Oh yeah. Okay. Here's one that I know you're not really a fan of, but I am.
Fright Night, man. I don't know. Sorry. We'll get to that.
So I really like Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yes. Yeah, you heard me on the other podcast talking about
no, actually, you told me when I gifted you a NECA Freddy toy, and you go, "Why are you giving this to me?" And I go, "What do you mean?" I go, "What do you mean? It's Freddy. Like, I got this for you." And you go, "I don't even like part 2." I was like, "Thanks, pal." You know?
No,
Like,
but I do love Freddy in that movie.
yeah, I'm like,
I
who
do love
cares?
Freddy in the way he looks. I'm with you with that.
Well, yeah, I was just like, it's fucking Freddy, and look how cool he is. Who cares if it's from part 2? You know, like.
And I took him out of the package, and he's standing right alongside all my horror things.
That's
on
good.
my, you know, he's standing between Pumpkinhead and Pinhead.
So, while I mean, I can agree, even as a kid, especially when I saw 3, I knew that 2 was the weakest. But there was I still loved it, probably because, 1, I got to see 1 in the theater with my mother, so I had Freddy fever. You know what I mean? So the thought of another Freddy movie was just so enticing. So as soon as that Freddy's Revenge came out on VHS, you know Stever was watching this shit. And that was a movie that my mom and my uncles rented. And it just worked for me. Again, as a kid that age, you know, when you're 8, 9, it didn't matter. The weirdness didn't matter because it was all about Freddy to me. And to me, Freddy was so fucking scary in part 2. Far more scary to me than he was in 1. 2, he just freaked me out. And there were times where, even as an adult, when I would be watching 2, and that scene where he's out in the real world at the pool party, and he's looking at the fucking camera, but he's looking at the kids, and the fire is under him, and you see his eyes so big and bright, and he is just evil looking and pissed and scared. I was, it's just, man, it's creepy. There's so many great effects in that movie. I don't know, man. I think it's really charming, and it works for me, even though, you know, as I got older and knowing the lore didn't make sense, and, you know, they corrected that ship, but it didn't need correcting. I've always really liked part 2. So that's one of my favorite 85 movies.
You know, you're making me realize that I think I saw part 3 before I saw part 2.
Well, then I could see why you wouldn't like part 2.
Well, yeah, and that's what's making me think about it, because, I mean, well, let's start here. I wasn't a big Freddy fan. I didn't have the Freddy experience that you did. My mom didn't take me to see it. I didn't have it. My only horror friends that I had were always like, you know, Jason and Michael. We were into like the regular slasher type stuff. So that stuff didn't quite click to me right away. But when I saw part 3, I had seen part 1 and I dug it. And then I must have seen part 3 because I remember really, really liking the whole movie. And I was like, and then I went back and I saw part 2 and I'm like, why is he possessing bodies and what's going on? And, you know, but I have the same experience. It's so funny with part 2 that anytime I have a Nightmare on Elm Street marathon, and I watch part 2, I always love the first half. Like you said, it's charming, it's fun. I love the characters are fun. Robert Russler is hilarious.
Where does it start to lose?
It's not even like half the movie. It's probably more than half the movie. It's like in the last half hour where, like, when shit happens, when you're just like, I don't know what's a dream, I don't know what's real. I don't know if he's really jumping out at a party. He gets burned, and then Jesse comes out of his burnt body. I'm like, what is going on? This doesn't make any sense to me. Like, even as a kid, I remember thinking, like, this is, like, kind of stupid. Like, I don't, but I agree with you. I love the beginning. I love the end. Like, the bus stuff, I just love. There's something about that I get nostalgic about, because I think I saw Nightmare on Elm Street 2 at a friend's house. I remember the bus scenes.
The party scene, I will defend to my dying. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I can remember the TV spot for Elm Street 2 because of the party scene.
Right. The flipping over the table, and
because they show in this TV spot, they show the chubby kid, showing up and then him getting stabbed, but they don't show the stab, but they show him. I was just like, Freddy at a party? I was just like, this is gonna be
hot dogs are popping.
I just, so that's up there.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I love half the movie and dislike the other half. That's kind of.
But you do watch it.
I watch it every year, or at least every time I have a Freddy marathon, because I know there's so much in it that I do enjoy, and that's basically the actors. What's his name? Mark Patton.
It's John Louise Stamos.
Absolutely. So John Stamos has the ultimate scream. I love it. It's hilarious. And you're right. Freddy's he's still creepy in it.
Ugh.
Yeah, I like a lot of it, but it's just not, it's down here when it comes to my nightmares. 1, 3, 4, 2 is down here.
All right.
But
what's next, sir?
Well, ReAnimator. Bring your dead bones, whatever.
Oh, you were frozen. Sorry.
Is everything all right? Oh, okay.
You were frozen there.
ReAnimator?
Yeah, ReAnimator.
All right.
Word up.
So, my memories with ReAnimator. I have no idea when I first saw this movie, but
I definitely do. I remember.
I think I came late to the party with that, meaning it was probably in my late teens when I saw ReAnimator.
Oh.
And Bride of ReAnimator.
Yeah, I was probably 11.
I don't think I saw that when I was a youngling.
Yeah, I was probably 11 or 12 for sure.
Yeah, I think I might have been like 16, 17. Yeah, I think I was like 16 or 17 when I saw it, and I thought Jeffrey Combs was hilarious and quirky and fun, and the gore was insane, and
yeah,
I really dug it. And I think I kind of saw it back to back with Bride, so I kind of dug those movies together. That's it. That's all I really have to say about that.
Yeah, so
but it's one of my favorites, and
I rented this movie for the first time with my pseudo cousin Jerry.
He's not your real cousin?
Well,
he's one of those, your parents were friends or something? Family was friends?
I don't know. He's like a cousin through gobbledygook. Anyway, this kid Jerry used to come over a lot because of these other people.
Cousin through imagination.
He wasn't like he wasn't like a first cousin. He wasn't like Casey or Bobby and April and the people who were always around me. Jesse, my cousin Jesse. But anyway, so Jerry would come over.
Right.
And we rented this movie. And this was a situation where I honestly was so, I don't know, I was a little afraid. Now at this point I'm like 11 or 12, so I've seen so much. I've been in the movie theaters and seen horror by this point. But for some reason, so seeing the VHS cover and always looking on the back and just seeing what it was about and reading what it was about, it always seemed a little too scary to me, too disturbing to me. So finally I was like, you know what, let's do something that's like, you know, so crazy, you know. So we finally, you know, we rented ReAnimator, and it definitely.
But you knew it was crazy?
Oh, I was like prepared for how crazy it was going to be, you know.
Okay.
You know, and this was the unrated version on VHS. And
Oh boy.
anything unrated to a kid and a teen was like, woo.
Yeah.
So we rented it, and
it's going to be wall-to-wall blood, boobs, and butt steak, right?
I just was blown away. I was really like, it was everything that I wanted it to be, but almost, it took like the scare away immediately. I wasn't scared of it. I was like, oh my God, this is like, you know, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Evil Dead. This is like everything that is amazing and awesome. It's got the creep factor. It's got the awesome special effects. It's got the laughs, the dark humor, you know, everything. And I was just, holy shit. So by the time part 2 was coming out, I had that movie reserved. I was ready. Like, we had like this cool, they had like when that movie was coming, they had like a really neat cardboard display thing for it.
Right.
That was hung diagonally coming off of the wall. And I was just I would see that all the time and just be like, yes.
What did it look like?
It was the shitty cover. It was that white cover, but where it looks like you're looking into one of his mirrors or stethoscope thingies or a big.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it was like a 3D pop out display, right?
Okay.
And I was like, I know I had been the first person to reserve that movie when that was coming out. I put my name down. I was like so excited. And the sequel didn't disappoint me either. The first one is way better, but the sequel like ups all the creatures and the special effects, and you know, that's when you're getting like crazy screaming Mad George type shit. And
right.
It was but yeah, I think
the eyeball with the fingers.
I think 1 and 2 are just mwah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The third one grows on me every time I watch it.
Nope, can't do
but
it.
That at the end, the prison scene, it does get
tried
and weird.
I've tried several times. I don't like it. It doesn't feel like the ReAnimator.
But you like to move your dead bones, move your dead bones. That's the best part.
And weird.
Yeah, ReAnimator. That's and rest in peace, Stuart Gordon. You know.
Oh, I know. He gave us a lot of classics.
How do you feel about The Stuff?
I'm not a giant fan of The Stuff. I knew that was going to be on your list. Because you...
Have you tasted it yet, though? Have you tasted The Stuff?
Larry Cohen.
I do. Yeah, I do love Larry Cohen. I love the It's Alive trilogy. I love The Stuff. I like Q. And I just recently saw on Shudder God Told Me To, and I'd always wanted to see that.
You see Full Moon High?
A bizarre... What?
Full Moon High?
What'd you say? I still have not seen Full Moon High. I have not
You'll probably
seen
like it.
I just love his like guerrilla style filmmaking and just like his storytelling, and I don't know. I think I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I never.
He hits me in the right spots.
Yeah, I saw The Stuff.
It's usually quirky characters and offbeat humor.
It just didn't hit me.
Yeah, I like the idea of The Stuff, the Killer Yogurt movie, but But I remember friends on my street telling me about it before I had seen it. It's like, did you see the stuff the guy eats? His face gets all distorted, and everybody's obsessed with this yogurt, and it's killing them. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but then I saw the video in the store, and I was just like, oh, this is what everybody's talking about. And I still didn't rent it. I think I'd seen it. Again, it was probably one of those movies I saw later on in my teens.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh, okay. I like this. And then I hadn't seen it for like 20 years or something like that. I hadn't seen it again until within the last 10 years.
Yeah, I tried recently, probably within the last 5 years, and I was like, nope, it just doesn't do it for me. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's fine. Not everything's going to hit us in those spots.
Yeah. But that's why it's your favorites and my favorites. And his favorites and her favorites.
Exactly.
And that's okay. We can have the things we love. It's all right.
Absolutely.
Some people don't understand that.
Who doesn't understand that? I don't understand.
We could go on.
You're allowed to be wrong.
So this one I'm sure is on your list, being the person you are and the love affair we have. But so I'm going to Friday the 13th, Part 5, the New Beginning.
Tell me more about this Friday the 13th, Part 5. All right, now this movie...
So this had a new beginning.
It's true. This movie, I had never experienced that whole Jason's not in it, so it sucks thing. Never have I ever felt that way. Growing up watching this movie, I remember I'd seen Part 6 before Part 5. And I absolutely, 4 and 6 are my top 2. They will always be my top 2. But then my friend Tommy, once again, told me, yo, you have to see Part 5. It's different than anything, you got to check it out. Saw it. I loved it. Not once did I say, oh, that sucks. It's not Jason. Because I kind of already knew that Jason was dead and, and I don't know. I just knew that wasn't going to be part of the story. So, I don't know. I know these people that like Part 5 is way down their list because Jason's not in it. A lot of the same people that it's like, oh, Halloween 3 sucks because Michael's not in it. And they use that, as a thing. And I'm just like, I don't get it. It never bothered me that Jason wasn't in it. I'm too
Hold on.
So anyway, Family Ties was one of the best shows ever made.
I know, man. You should have been on the episode with me and Casey. We did it.
Did you do it already? You did the show already? Should have had me call in or something and
we talk about you.
Talk about my favorite episodes. Yes. So yeah, I was just saying that I never understood the hate for Part 5 because Jason's not in it. It's still a good story. I love that it's like it's got suspense in it. It's a whodunit. Like you don't know who the killer is until the end. If when you watch it the first time. I love that. I like that they allude to maybe Tommy's the killer. Maybe it's this other guy. You just don't know until the end. But whatever. It's all the fun characters, Ethel and Junior, and all those
it's a
cats
great
at the halfway house are fun. Reggie the Reckless.
Hell yeah.
I love the continuation of Tommy's story and, John Shepard. He's probably, it's funny, he's actually my favorite Tommy Jarvis, even though I love 4 and 6 more. But he's probably, as an actor, I think he's the best Tommy Jarvis. I don't know. But, I don't know. I love it.
Me too.
A lot of the kills are very creative. With the
I remember
ears
being
and sticks and whatnot.
I remember being disappointed by the kills.
Because a
So
lot of them are just hands in the weapon.
what I did was, so part 7 was the first Friday I saw in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mine too.
me and my friends, we rented all of them up to that point before we were going to go, and we did a marathon of them. And for some reason, it was the first time that I had watched 5 at that point. So I
Wow.
I
Okay.
didn't even know what happens at the end. So I was like, whoa, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, because
So you hadn't seen part 5 until you were 11 years old, or I mean, like till part 7 was coming out.
yeah,
Wow.
because I constantly would rent the funnest ones, which were for
Right.
me, 4 and 6. So I was
Right.
always renting 4 and 6.
Mine too.
It made a lot more sense about the opening of 6 when you watch 5, you know? So,
Right.
yeah. So that was a fun, like, that's a memory I'll always have, is like, it was a genuine first time shock. You know what I mean? Like, whoa,
Right.
you know, that's not Jason.
Yeah. I don't know. I just love that it's somebody else
Yeah, it
that's
didn't
using
bother
the
me at
Jason
all.
name thing, and and the characters are just so much fun. I just have a blast every time I watch it. Like they're just so kooky.
Now, 4 will be always will be my number 1 Friday the
Yeah.
13th film. And I don't think there's any group of people in the movies that are better than the group in part 4. That's just me.
No, definitely not.
But I love 5. Of course, it's in a favorites of 85. 35 years. There we go.
Did you have that issue ever growing up when you were 11 and you saw this movie finally? Did you ever think like, oh, the movie's not that good because Jason's not in it?
No,
Like, or
I didn't care.
yeah, that's
I
what I
always thought
mean.
it was so cool, you know? Like the same with April Fool's Day. The first time I saw April Fool's Day on VHS, I was like, I wasn't mad. I don't understand why people
Yeah,
hate that movie. Like I was like,
I was one of those people. Yeah, I was
oh,
one of those people that I didn't like it when I first saw it
I
because
loved it. I was
I
like,
felt like, oh, nothing, because I feel like nothing happened. Now I think it's brilliant. I
yeah, well,
totally came
I
around on it
loved it. I love
the
those
like
things.
third time I saw it.
Crazy endings and weird twists and shit like that always got me, and I just was like, so cool, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I didn't care, you know, that it
yeah.
wasn't Jason. Because what a triumphant return he has in 6, you know?
Oh, oh, the best. Love it.
So,
4 and 6. I'll never get tired of those.
you're up, Bobby!
What? Well, I was going to bring up Friday 13 Part 5, but
We talked about it.
let's talk about Silver Bullet instead. Hold up your silver bullet. That's right.
Yes. Of course, Silver
Um,
Bullet.
I recently had a hemathon.
I remember. I remember, and I wish I was there.
Oh my God. Yeah. Having the hemathon for the 10th anniversary of his passing. I said, let's, Sean King was over and Lori, and we watched, I think Silver Bullet was first. Yeah, because I really enjoy the movie Firstborn, which is like his first movie. Did you ever see Firstborn?
No.
Okay. It's good. It's like a family drama, but it's very 80s, you know?
And you know what's interesting? I don't know. I used to love Lucas, and now I don't know if I could watch it.
I know it was hard to watch after, especially after watching the Feldman documentary and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know how I feel putting this on right now, but we got to put that aside and just try to enjoy the movie as it is.
I can usually do that. Like, I, for one, do not believe any of the shit about Michael Jackson, any of that shit.
Oh no, no, I'm with you. I don't believe that.
I will never stop listening to Michael Jackson. I'll never stop watching any of the videos.
No.
I love Michael Jackson. That's, I think it's all opportunist bullshit. But this was a situation where Haim was a little boy. And I 100% believe that fucking
Charlie Sheen
would do that.
Oh, absolutely. I completely, yes.
So it's
because we all know who Charlie Sheen is now, and he's completely
and listen,
bonkers and stuff.
I love Hot Shots and Hot Shots 2. I love
Red Dawn.
Guns. I love Young Guns. I'll never.
Red Dawn.
Oh, Red Dawn is amazing. It's just the idea.
So we're never gonna watch those movies again, right?
No, I'm gonna watch those movies, but it's the idea. Of course. Because Lucas is also such a sad character through most of that movie. And so I think my mind is just going to be like, well, he's getting taken advantage of by this older teenage Sheen.
Right.
It just doesn't, it's, and it sucks because I really do like Lucas.
Yeah.
So whatever, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we got through it. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'll get the silver bullet. But yeah, I don't know. It is a bummer, but yeah, it sucks. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Let's move on. But
this movie's fantastic.
I think Corey Silver Bullet is fantastic. It's one of my favorite werewolf movies.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just a great Stephen King tale about what happens in this small town.
This is one of those movies. I've got a lot of them, but this is one of those movies where any day of the week, I could throw this on, get comfy, and just take it in. I just think it's a classic. It's got a classic feel. I love all the acting in it. Gary Busey is fucking awesome. Haim is fantastic. Listen, to me, Haim was always the better actor.
Absolutely.
I like Feldman.
I mean, you're comparing to Feldman, yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
To me, and listen, I like Feldman. He has some great performances. He really does. Stand By Me is fucking amazing. Right. But Haim, to me, was always the better actor.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate to go back to it, but like, if you watch Firstborn and watch Silver Bullet and then watch Lucas, you could almost see that there's something taken away from him because of what happened on Lucas that kind of almost prevents him from being a great actor. And, I mean, of course he was great in Lost Boys and License to Drive and Dream of a Dream and whatever. But like, you could see that like that shit was catching up to him, and then he didn't like try as hard anymore. And like, I don't know, it's a bummer, but yeah, I think he could have been one of the really great actors that, if he was still around today. And like that shit didn't happen to him, But Silver Bullet, he's fantastic. He's fantastic in every 80s movie he's in.
Everett McGill, man.
Did it freeze?
Everett McGill.
Okay, I'm frozen. What about Everett McGill?
He's great in this fucking movie.
Did it take you by surprise the first time you saw it?
I wish I could remember, because it probably did.
Yeah, it was like, holy shit. The priest.
I know, I've seen it so many times, but he's such a good, creepy scumbag. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Even People Under the Stairs. But I love him in Twin Peaks because he's such a sweetheart,
Which I'm watching for the first time.
And consistently, he's a good guy, in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
All the way till the end, he's a good guy,
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's really great. Gary Busey is just
I'll say this.
hilarious.
The only thing I don't like about Silver Bullet is the final look of the werewolf.
In those final scenes, yeah.
He
When
looks
they actually hold on him.
He looks like a goofy bear. He looks like a weird, goofy, animatronic guy in costume. Come eat my pizza.
Yeah.
Drink some soda.
But that.
But in the scene, in the wacko hallucination, hyper wacko dream scene, when they're all turning into werewolves, that shit's great and spooky and weird and gross. And then he's a fucking bear. I love everything else. Like everything else.
Well, that's the thing. Like, because everything else is so great in it, like the way it's shot, the acting, the storytelling, everything is so good in it, you forgive that the effects aren't that great.
Yeah. I mean,
because
it doesn't ruin it for
you're
me.
thoroughly entertained by everything else. I kind of look at a lot of movies like that. Like, sometimes special effects don't hold up, but if I love the story, whatever. I like the story. That's it. The effects, whatever. I don't care. Ghostbusters could have the worst special effects of all time. They could have been incomplete, and I still would have thought that was a great movie. There's no Gozer at the end.
All right.
But I got one more movie on my list.
Oh, I've got 3.
What do you got?
Okay, well,
you got 3?
I got 3 more. That's it.
Tell me yours.
For my favorite films of '85, horror films. I've
been wanting to rewatch it because I saw it that was on Shudder or Amazon or something. It's been a long time, and I really do enjoy it.
I love it. This movie is so good.
I gotta rewatch it.
So gross, so fun, atmospheric, great gross effects, great soundtrack. Just love it. Just love it. This is a party movie. This is marathon movie.
It's a punkadelic movie.
Yeah, getting your friends together and just having a blast. This is a great movie, and it looks fantastic in Blu-ray on my 120-inch big screen projector screen. It's beautiful. I love this movie. I've met many actors from this film, and they're all wonderful people. And I met Lamberto Bava.
Oh, what is he like? Is he Bavaricious?
Jovial, because I couldn't understand a word he was saying, but he was jovial and wonderful, and you could tell that he appreciated.
So funny.
Yeah, you could tell he appreciated the fans, and yeah, man, I think it's great.
I gotta rewatch that again. I want to see part 2 again too, because I haven't seen that
2's fun.
in even a longer time.
2's fun, but 2 actually.
Did it pick up right where the last one left off or something?
It's funny. 2 actually freaked me out more than the first one did, and that's weird because the first one is creepy as fuck. Some of that makeup and the demons are just scary as hell, but something about the demon coming out of the TV in part 2, and that stuff to me, always where things could come out of your TV, that like got to me.
Okay.
You know, it's because like you have a TV everywhere, you know.
Absolutely.
Poltergeist was creepy, but I love Poltergeist. But what I'm saying is, like, as a kid, anything that had the ability to come out of your television, I was like
the
Ring.
Ring.
There's a TV in the living room. There's a TV in the kitchen. There's a TV up in the bedroom. What am I gonna do?
Can't get away.
Anyway, I love the movie. I think it's great, and you definitely should have a rewatch. And that rewatch should be with me. You break this quarantine, and you come to me, Bobby. Come to me.
I will. We're gonna have a whole Argento Fulci thing because I'm actually seeing a lot of Argento movies for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And I've been really enjoying a lot of them. I've been enjoying. I really enjoyed Deep Red and Bird with the crystal plumage. Yes, that was. Yeah, I was surprised how much I enjoyed these. Like, they're more like thrillers, but there was some creepy ass shit that happens in a couple of these. And which brings me to my favorite Argento movie that is not Suspiria, so get over it.
I don't like Suspiria.
I've tried so many times to like this movie. I've seen it like 8 times.
But that's what I felt about Deep Red, though. Because Deep Red also... Deep Red and Suspiria like make me it's like a snooze fest.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the mystery in Deep Red. I kind of it held my attention more than Suspiria. There's parts of Suspiria I do like, and I guess that's why I keep like, let me see it again. Maybe I'll love it just as like, it's everybody's top 5 favorite horror movie of all time. And until those last 10 minutes, I'm just like, okay, I get it. But my favorite Argento movie is a 1985 movie starring Your Love and Mine from that time.
Jennifer Connelly
in Creepers or Phenomena.
Yeah.
But I remember this poster right here.
Oh, yeah.
At my local theater, and it said Creepers, not Phenomena.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, I need to see this movie. And eventually I saw it at the video store and I rented it. And I was like, man, that was something. Plus it had Dr. Loomis in it. And I was like, all right, already the movie's okay.
I remember
Donald Pleasance is in it.
I remember seeing it for the first time.
Got this crazy monkey.
I remember really appreciating it more the first time I saw it in widescreen. Because it totally opens up and you see how like lush it's shot and the visuals and everything. I appreciated it way more than how we got to see it when we were little. VHS, pan and scan. Always shit copies too.
Oh yeah.
Because they didn't.
Well, yeah. When I first saw. Well, yeah, I saw that and Deep Red and like a lot of these movies on like the worst VHS copy.
Yeah, they didn't.
And I'm just like, I can't even. I'm falling asleep through it. I didn't like. It was all dark and couldn't tell what's going on. But when Argento movies and Fulci movies are cleaned up, they look fantastic.
I know.
But I really still enjoy this movie. I watched it again just a couple weeks ago. Most Italian horror movies where like there would be like rocking songs and then it'll go into like the weird goblin music and then like half the language will be Italian and then they'll just switch over to English once in a while. Like it's so unevenly weird but that's it. And I just plan on what's up?
What's on the features? What are the features on that?
Well, because it's a.
I mean, have you watched the
Steelbook? I don't think I didn't get to them, but they were like.
I mean, do you know if
they were featurettes?
Talks.
No, I don't think so.
About it? Okay.
No, but they have like a booklet inside. It gives you like a whole production note thing. I think there's like a featurette in Italian that's on it. I got this when I was in Cleveland at that that show.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That garage sale.
The garage sale.
All right.
But I'm still watching more and more Argento and Fulci movies just so I could have all the knowledge of these movies and what I like, and what I won't.
I think my favorite Argento movies are Opera. I love Trauma. and I love Two Evil Eyes.
Of course, Two Evil Eyes is probably
those are my favorite.
One of my favorites.
So, Fulci, of course, is The Beyond. That's my favorite Fulci movie, hands down. But
yeah, I kind of dig Zombie as probably my favorite. Zombie might be my favorite.
I've got one more before my final one,
which is on my list too.
So this I love. This is from 1985. This is a made-for-television horror comedy. The Midnight Hour. I love this movie. This is a classic Halloween hijinxery 1985 30-year-olds playing 16-year-olds. This movie is fantastic. Great music, great performances. Dee Dee Pfeiffer is a dream.
Oh, so freaking adorable. Her and like Amy Dolenz.
Oh my god.
Two of the most underrated, cutest actresses of the time.
Amy Dolenz.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you started.
Speaking my language. But yes, Midnight Hour. You know, this isn't. It's not like a wide release. It's made for television. And in 1989, Vidmark put out the VHS. And then in 2000, Anchor Bay put out the VHS and later the DVD. And they are out of print. But this is a rotation movie for me. Every year I watch this movie, and I might watch it twice a year. It doesn't matter if it's Halloween, but I do watch it during, you know, the October time. How many times have you seen it, Bobby?
I've seen it about 3 times, but I quote a line from it pretty much on a daily basis, and you know the line.
You're talking to me?
Yes. I say it to my wife. I say it to everybody. I say it to people at work all the time. Shut up when you're talking to me. From the great late, what was his name? Kevin McCarthy?
It's, man, I don't know how many times I got to tell you, but it's Jean Gary Diablo.
Oh, no, Stamos. John Stamos.
Okay, so let's go into our final.
Okay.
I wonder what it could be, Bobby.
Could it be Police Academy 2, Their First Assignment?
That is a horror movie. Because of Zed.
Oh, they were scared.
Yes.
They were scared of Their First Assignment, and it was Bobcat Goldthwait.
Those gangs were scary.
Oh, what about Weird Science, 1985?
Oh, ooh.
Chet as the pile of shit? Oh.
That is terrifying. Now, Weird Science,
and the Mutant Biker Gang?
Weird Science deserves its own show. We will do Weird Science a different time.
My favorite comedy of all time.
So, let's get thick.
Yes.
We're talking about Fright Night.
For real.
Not only
all right.
is this
your favorite movie of all time.
Yes, my favorite horror film of all time, but it is also my favorite horror film of all time.
You know, it deserves your own like episode. You know, wait, if you just look down.
Yeah, you know, and that's the second devoted Fright Night episode we've done. It's the 35th anniversary. I think we need another Fright Night episode. I absolutely love this movie. I have a tattoo of Fright Night, the logo. I have a shrine for Fright Night that is down in the theater room. So many posters, so much stuff for Fright Night. I've met almost everybody from the cast. I
This
adore
is
this
all
movie.
fantastic.
I have loved it since I first saw it in 1986 on VHS with my cousins Bobby and April. This movie has left. I mean, it's just a huge, magical, wet, sweaty part of me, and I love it to pieces. I don't know what more I could say, so I guess I'll leave that up to Bobby, because I've said almost everything I could say about Fright Night until I do the 35th anniversary episode of Fright Night.
Right. That's right. Absolutely. It's one of my earliest horror movie experiences. That like I saw on TV. I saw on TV for the first time. I recorded it and I'd watch it. I'd wear out that videotape. Watch 1980s. I love it. I think until I saw Lost Boys, it was my favorite vampire movie. And it's still, I mean, I guess that and Lost Boys are my favorite vampire movies. But I love it. I love the characters. Roddy McDowell is one of my favorite actors of all time.
Me too.
He's so fantastic in it.
I love him.
Between that and the Apes movies, I'm just like,
yeah. Roddy's portrayal of Peter Vincent is my favorite character in the movie, in both movies.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, that movie is a horror kid's dream, like right up there with Monster Squad. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
The movie is just, it's tailor made for monster kids, and it's got the Hammer horror element. It's got the 80s special effects technology element. It's got
has the weirdo best friend.
Weirdo horror best friend. It's got the music, the great music by Brad Fiedel. Wonderful.
It really is one of those like perfect 80s masterpieces.
It is. I think
and it's also one of those movies that you could like. I remember like my mom loved the movie. Yeah, it was one of those movies like it was definitely one of those that I tried to like get friends, you know. After I made them sit through Romero movies.
I think it's a damn near perfect film. I really do. There really isn't anything I don't like about the movie.
And I had the exact same experience that you did when you saw it in widescreen footage before, with like Jerry leaving the room and you see the mirror image of the door closing by itself. I almost jumped out of my, off the couch and went, "Holy shit, did you see that?" Yeah. I'm by myself, and that's what I say. But like, oh my God, like it just made you appreciate that film so much more.
It was like seeing a lost scene. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I just doesn't. I can go on and on. I mean,
and you have.
I know. I love everything about it.
Friday Night is fantastic.
Yeah.
We just recently saw because Lori loves the movie just as much as I do. Like her friend actually just got Chris Sarandon to do a cameo thing for her. So she got a little cameo message, "Happy birthday."
That's cool.
From Chris Sarandon. But we just showed our friend Danae, who, we're kind of mentoring on horror movies and what she should see. And so we just showed her Fright Night a few weeks ago, and she loved it. We showed her a few things. Fright Night. I showed her Night of the Creeps.
Another classic.
Showed her the Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2. Because she knows about the Garbage Day thing. I'm like, well, you got to see the movie now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Friday Night. Yeah, like I said, if Day of the Dead and Return of the Living Dead tie for first place, Friday Night is my next up there. It's up there. So.
Wow. What an experience. What an adventure.
Is this it? Is this where we're wrapping up?
That's it.
But we didn't talk about our truly favorite film from 1985.
Ghoulies?
Ghoulies.
Ghoulies 2 all the way.
That's right, brother.
Ghoulies
That's
2
right.
all the way.
And 3. 3 over 1 also. Evil. Another one of our favorite.
Yes.
Well, a real favorite from 1985.
Oh, my goodness. We went down some memory lanes, didn't we?
Yes, we certainly did.
The only thing that could make it better right now, Bobby, is if you were here with me and we watched all of the movies we just talked about, back to back.
Well, I do have a teleporter in the next room.
Oh.
I could try to do that. Just be ready with a mask and the Perel.
Yes. And no flies. Make sure no flies get in there.
Oh, shit. What about a roach?
No roaches, no.
Oh, I know what'd be great. If there was a frog in there and it came out as half frog. Because you love frogs.
Hell comes to Savage Town.
Oh, man. Yes. Good times.
Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed watching Bobby and I go through our favorite horror films of 1985. Let us know, what are your favorites of 85? I'm sure, you know, those were some heavy hitters in 1985. While there's other movies, other horror movies that came out in 85, those were, I mean, that's the creme de la creme.
Yes. Let's find out whose favorite Sting movie was The Bride from 1985.
Yes, I do.
Let us know.
I actually do like The Bride.
I do like that movie too.
It's just not on my favorites list for 85. But
I was with you when I bought the DVD and that.
And Sting. I remember when we were hanging out with Sting and he recommended it. So, all right. That's it, guys.
That's right.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you liked it. Watch some more of the videos. You might like it. Do you have anything to pimp, Bobby? I know you've got a movie that we're going to be shooting sometime when it's pandemic.
Sometime. Who knows when that'll happen? Oh, what movie are we talking about? I got prizes to give you whenever I see you.
So Bobby is going to be directing his Victim No More Friday the 13th fan film. Hopefully this year we'll be able to get in there and make this magic happen. He raised all the money he needed to, and I'm looking forward.
And it kills me that it's just sitting in this like savings account, like not doing anything.
I mean,
why don't I just give it to you to make Radikill?
People understand, you know. They know. It was a weird thing that happened. You know. You just can't predict this type of weird shit.
No, you really can't.
You know what I mean?
Right. And you know me. You've known me for 20 years now.
20 years?
You know I always look at the positive outlook on everything.
Like Monty
and
Python.
with this,
always look on the bright side of life.
I always do look on the bright side of life. He knows this. But the way I look at it is that it just gives me more time to deal with the special effects and the wardrobe and storyboarding things and like all this like pre-production stuff.
And the arrogant actors.
The arrogant actors that need to be put in their place. And I need to, and work on playing with those little tinkering of the scripts and stuff like that. Chris Seaver will be one of the main characters of this film. And I really do hope this whole thing clears up this summer. I don't know if it is. I'm kind of like saying 2020 is a bust, and let's just focus on next year.
Yeah.
As far as like this film, conventions, any events that we have, let's just do the right thing and just push off everything. But
Yeah.
I'm still looking to shoot right now, August, September. Will it happen? I don't know. But because like once it gets to like mid-August and this thing is still going on or going through a second wave or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to be like, all right, well, this whole film takes place during the day and I need it to look like summertime. I can't have breath being shown, and
Yeah.
then it'll have to be next May or next June.
Yeah.
But I really, because it's going to be, when it eventually does get made and put out there, I really hope it's going to be a treat for all the fans. We ruined the biggest surprise that Chris Seaver's in it. But,
yeah. Yeah. And I'll be playing Jason's father.
That's it. Jason's father. Good old Elias. Want the sweet beanie?
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. And we'll see you on another pandemically erotic episode of A Crept from the 80s. What, Bobby?
Let us know if you need to see more Bobby Heckman in future episodes. Because
hey, man, that's up to you.
Now that we figured this out, I can be on numerous episodes.
Yeah, really. Like, it's if you got the time, we can do it. I'm not going back to work until July, so I got time.
Yeah. If you need another Police Academy episode, V. What else did we do? We did 3. Oh no, we did more than that.
We've done a bunch. Our next one should be G.I. Joe.
Oh God, and I am balls deep into G.I. Joe right now. I'm rereading comics. I'm watching the cartoon series Joe. So
yeah, we will talk about
swing that cup of Joe. Yeah, exactly.
All right, my friend. So we can keep talking if you want a little bit after this. I'll just stop recording.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.